Just kidding. Alright, hello folks, it's Chris Peck. Today we're going to be doing some introduction to the flute. First thing I'm going to do for you is describe how to create an embouchure on the flute. So first thing you want to do is make sure you just have a nice relaxed mouth, no smiling, but not necessarily like pouting or frowning either, kind of just a straight flat. You want to practice having the flute under the crook of the mouth, and what you just want to firm up just the corners of your mouth just a skosh, and then you're going to make that sound like you were creating an M. Just again really flat. And then you're going to do like a P sound, like a poo. And you're going to blow across the top of the flute. I just have the head joint here. So when you're going to do your embouchure, your top lip isn't going to move much. Your bottom, your top lip doesn't move really at all. Your bottom lip may move just a hair. And what you want to do is set this guy, the head joint, so that it's facing right of you. So this way for the viewer at home, this way for me. And what I have done is just put right kind of where the skin turns from like flesh color to pink, and I put that right on the edge of the hole, so it's just below my lip. And I have pretty big lips, so it may be different for you, but only maybe like a quarter to a third of the lower lip should cover the hole. So just right there, and then do that poo sound. If you have crooked teeth or maybe like an ill-formed lip, you may want to go one side or another, but obviously that doesn't like work for me. But you want to find, and you can feel with the bottom of your lip where centered is. So yeah, it just takes a little bit of work to find exactly where it is that you want to have it blow. You're not blowing straight into the hole, but kind of across it, and having half the air go into the hole and half go above it. So there's a lot of wasted air, but it's not really wasted because you're still making a sound. You're making the sound you want to make. Some of the preliminary exercises you can do as a beginning flautist for flexibility are to blow air over the hole, obviously. But one of the things you can do is just get your hand like 6 to 8 inches away from your face and blow up and down from the bottom here to the top and back down through that same embouchure. So you're practicing directing your air, because eventually that will be a good skill to have as you try and get lower and higher notes. And try and have a real direct airstream. So later on, the more downward airstream is going to result in a lower pitch that will resonate throughout the full flute, and will be louder. And then the higher the airstream is going to elevate that pitch and be a little bit quieter. So one of the exercises you can do is just keep blowing long air across the flute. See if you can get it for 10 to 15 seconds kind of deal. Another thing as a beginning flautist you want to work on is tonguing. So while you tongue, this is a way to put some distinction between notes. And essentially what you're doing is your tongue is going to act as a valve. So think of it, if you're blowing air through a pipe, your air is not going to stop, but you can stop it with your finger at the end. That's the same idea you're going to do with the flute and with your tongue in your mouth. So you just lift your tongue and say like a T sound, like a T or a ta, or a D sound, a D or a da. And you're just going to, in your mouth, if the air's coming this way, lift and stop the air for just a second. So it's going to sound a little bit more like this. And I'm just doing that TD type sound there. I really liked what the Westfall book said, and I don't think I can say it better myself about tonguing, so I wanted to read for you what it says. The tongue touches the front of the teeth at the gum line to stop the flow of breath. So you don't want to have it on the teeth or way back in your mouth, but just right at the top, kind of where the teeth reach the mouth. It says, like I talked about, to do the ta, da, or da sound. It says, support breath by the diaphragm and abdominal muscles remain constant throughout the series of articulated notes. Supporting muscles do not and must not move in conjunction with the tongue. So you're not going and breathing as you go, but it's remaining constant and just letting that tongue flick up and a momentary stop in the air. Position the tongue. The position of the tongue is lower for the lower pitch range and higher for the higher pitch range. The position of the tongue is lower for the loud dynamic levels and higher for the soft dynamic levels. And you want to avoid starting notes with an accent or increasing or decreasing the volume of the tone after the attack. So that again comes with the consistent air pressure and just stopping it rather than articulating it. Some of the difficult parts of introducing the flute to beginner students is too tight of embouchure. I think that for me was a long time. My biggest issue was that I was just trying so hard to keep it tight and keep my hole in my embouchure really small. I think that came from playing horns. But again, it's really just a relaxed support across the hole. Another problem I have seen in my own beginning band is like dizziness that becomes from lack of air support. So you can do particular like breathing exercises or just important to have that good high elevated posture and give beginning band students breaks just to take some breath and practice that breath support the same way you would in a choir. To fix that tight embouchure, you can do what I saw is called a stupid flute and just everything relaxed in your whole face, like if you took Novocaine and even with that like completely relaxed, you can get sound out. It's not a great sound, and then tighten up the cheeks. You get a little better sound out, and then you practice just slightly tightening up the corners of the lips until you get that really nice sound. So some of the other problems kids might have is a tilted head or a slouched body, and tired arms and elbows, and good posture, keeping the head straight, keeping your back straight, and then keeping your arms correct is going to give you much less fatigue when it comes to your arms. The last one is sluggish tongue or lack of coordination between the tongue and the fingers, and this is just something you continually practice by warming up every day. Yeah, so that's it. I hope that kind of clears up some things for you as far as embouchure, some of the beginning exercises that flutists can do for lip flexibility and tonguing, and some of the more difficult parts for beginning band students. Thank you.